I have to be honest, I was not necessarily anticipating doing another Beauty Heroes review before I take my maternity leave in a couple of months. But as what may come of a surprise, I really felt compelled to do a box review of the August Beauty Heroes box featuring the brand Ingredients. I'm so excited to be filming, and I think it may be surprising to people because this is not necessarily a box that I have seen people get kind of excited about, and there's a lot to unpack here, but I just have to say that I personally was really excited to see a brand that is not using a lot of exotic ingredients, that is not trying to be cutting edge in a particular way, but actually is presenting something, in my opinion, interesting and valuable. And I've been trying so little while I've been pregnant. My skincare routine has been incredibly boring, basic, consistent. I mean, I've tried products that have come my way so sparingly, like most things I have tucked away to revisit in postpartum and beyond, not even opening them. As this brand has all of the ingredients like so clearly laid out for someone that is really ingredient sleuthing, or you're pregnant, breastfeeding, concerned about ingredients, or just, you know, an astute skincare consumer. I don't know, there's just something about this brand that I'm a bit taken with. So let's get into everything. Okay, so the brand is called Ingredients, very simple. The people behind the brand are the husband and wife visionaries behind The Art of Shaving, which I had heard of, is or was a razor subscription box, if I'm not mistaken, but I do remember hearing about them some years ago. So basically they wanted to enter the organic beauty space, but they wanted to do it differently with radical transparency at the forefront, being very discerning about the suppliers that they're working with, so not just buying ingredients in bulk that a lab sources. Basically, if you work with a lab to formulate, a lot of times they have contracted suppliers that a brand can pick from. So I believe they've kind of gone outside of that supply chain. Oh, okay, sorry, I misspoke. Quality and transparency were non-negotiable to the founders, so they decided to do it their own way with their own lab, a small proprietary network of ethical suppliers, and innovative low-waste packaging to boot. I have to say, when I saw this brand launch in Beauty Heroes some months ago, I often will just check Beauty Heroes, you know, a couple times a month to see what's new in the shop. You know, I think if you judge a book by its cover, you're sort of like, oh, not that flashy. What's exciting here? It's very no frills, no sexy marketing. It's quite basic in a way. When I saw it show up in the box, I was kind of surprised. I didn't necessarily expect Beauty Heroes to feature this brand. So the 3 products in the box, it's 3 full-size products, are a 3.4 fluid ounce plant water mist, which looks like this. It's in an aerosol. A 1.35 fluid ounce face serum, which is in kind of this white ceramic packaging, similar to something like Blue Alchemy. The last is a 3.4 fluid ounce body oil. Now, I have not had the time to go do, this is in plastic. I have not had the time to go do kind of a more extensive look into the range. But after trying these products, I'm interested too. Let's quickly talk through the products, then I'll share my experience, why I'm into this, and situate it within these broader beauty industry problematics, which is just what I like to do. So this retails for $38. Ingredients are all here on the front. It's rose, neroli, and lavender hydrosols at different percentages, lactobacillus, so it lists the percentages of ingredients to total 100%. The hydrosols are all certified organic. Now, this is kind of described as a retake on the Evian mist, and I have gone through bottles of the Evian mist before, which I personally think has such a limited slot in a skincare routine because it's just water. Actually, I think I have one in an empty skincare bag back there. If you just use the Evian mist to mist your face, it actually can leach water from your skin as the water evaporates off. And the only thing I think it's actually good for is to neutralize your skin after washing in kind of an aesthetic sense. So there's this vintage Into the Gloss video with a French esthetician who, after a double cleanse or a cleanse, will mist the face with an Evian spritz and then take a tissue and kind of tissue the water off, and all it does is neutralize the canvas pH of the skin. So this is kind of a take on that. I was somewhat surprised to see the aerosol packaging. The instructions are just spray on clean skin and let dry, follow with the serum and or an oil complex, use daily and as often as needed. So when it arrives, you do have to break the seal of this, and then once you do, it mists out, obviously, like, very fine. Spoiler, I really like this. I think this is one of the products from the range that kind of really has become an immediate hit with people because it's really refreshing, it's portable, it's easy to use, and the experience is really pleasant. But let's tuck that aside for now. Okay, the face serum retails for $48, and I just have to say, thank you, ingredients, for not including hyaluronic acid in your face serum. It's a water-based serum, aloe-based, but it does not have hyaluronic acid, which is exactly the kind of serum product I have been using throughout my whole pregnancy. And when I got pregnant in January, I basically ditched all serums from my routine with the exception of some of the aloe-based serums from Weis Beauty, because it's so hard to find a water-based serum without hyaluronic acid. I've talked about this a lot of other places. There's a lot of Googling you can do to see why hyaluronic acid is not always ideal in skincare, or it's just really overused. It depends a lot on climate, your barrier, and essentially you can create a dependency in your skin on hyaluronic acid. And so it's just been in everything, and it's quite hard to avoid if you want any kind of serum in a routine. This says no additives, binders, or emulsifiers are in this. It's functional hydration packed with phytonutrients, organic form of highly concentrated aloe vera infused with calendula, tremella mushroom, and vegetable collagen. It has over 30 amino acids, can be used morning and night. So I was also excited to see that it only has 0.01% of rose essential oil. So very, very low. And I think it's mostly just for the experience, to give it a little bit of scent, but perfect for someone like me who's been pretty fastidious about avoiding a lot of essential oils or like heavy essential oils during pregnancy. Although as I'm, you can tell, like, out of breath, as I'm getting towards the later end of pregnancy, I'm 32 weeks, I am starting to crave more than just the mostly bland skincare that I've been using. So that's this product. And then the last thing in the box is this body oil meant to restore skin elasticity and natural lipid barrier. It has baobab, copaiba, jojoba, all oils I really like. It has some orange essential oil, lavender and rosemary essential oils, and some vanilla extract. The highest percentage oil is the orange, so it basically gives it an orange vanilla creamsicle type of scent for sensitive and all skin types, adults and children aged 6+. So pretty straightforward. Okay, experience. The first thing I dove into was this because I can always use a mist. I keep them kind of in all areas of the house. I keep one in the fridge. I like to keep one downstairs in my bag, a bunch in my bathroom because it's summertime. And I've been doing some safe sun exposure this summer, which is a huge departure from my life, basically. I've been such a sarcastic, eye-rolling sun avoider for almost all of my life. Pretty much after childhood was over, I just became really anal about the sun. That's a whole other issue that I'm tackling on Patreon in video this month, if you're interested in that. Long story short, after I do a safe sun session, I really like to have a mist to provide some refreshment. And the first time I used this, I was impressed. So it was kind of like a love at first use. It's very, very fine. Obviously, like I already said, the scent is kind of just reminds me of a sort of a gentle, natural smell. I mean, rose, neroli, lavender, those are really common scent profiles. It has a bit of a powdery finish, but it's not bad at all. It's not just a mist that evaporates off completely, and I'm not exactly sure how they do that, if the addition of the lactobacillus or whatever's in there is creating not really like a film, but it does kind of, for me, it feels like it leaves a little something behind. It's not just gone in a flash. When I looked at my skin, 20, 30 minutes after I had misted this, I could tell a difference, which is interesting. I'm not really sure necessarily what to make of that, but it seems to have a bit of a skin perfecting rejuvenation quality. And for such a simple product, I have to say I was quite impressed. Now the aerosol, I'm kind of take it or leave it with the aerosol. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily love it, but I certainly don't think that it feels cheap or, non-luxury. I don't know. To me, it still feels like a really substantial, nice green beauty product, or clean beauty, I guess, however you would categorize this. I could see this becoming an often repurchased staple for a lot of people, and that's one of the big points I wanted to make about this box, kind of overarching and overall, which is that I see a lot of value when Beauty Heroes creates or curates a box of products that have a high likelihood of becoming like staple products for people, like the bathing culture products. That was the box it immediately reminded me of. And I think it's difficult to do everyday, high quality, good value staple products that people are more likely to repurchase. You're much more likely to repurchase this than $150 exotic plant extract acid exfoliator. And I'm not necessarily saying that from a business perspective. I'm from Beauty Heroes as a business perspective. I'm saying it as they're curating something for the consumer that I think is exposure to products that have a high likelihood of, something that you would want to integrate like more regularly. You would throw it into an order when you're ordering your eyebrow plume refills, your deodorant, your toothpaste. It's just kind of like something that is great to have around, and I've really enjoyed using it. Now the serum, first time I used it was at night. They recommend a pump. It looks like this. It's clear. I went in with just shy of 2 pumps the first evening that I used it. I've also subsequently gone on to try just 1 pump, and I can see why they recommend that. However, the sweet spot for me with application with this product is somewhere between 1 and 2 pumps, but I like kind of a bouncy feel to the skin from a product like this. Now, the closest thing that I have to compare it to, because it's basically not replaced, but I'm alternating it with a morning skincare step that I've been using for the last 8 months that I've been pregnant religiously, is Earthwise's Ambrosia do Cerrado, which is an essential oil-free aloe serum. I love it in the morning for so many reasons. It's really refreshing. It has a nice sensorial experience, wake up. My skin just feels like giving a drink of water to my skin. I drink a glass of water when I wake up. My morning skincare routine has this kind of juicy, aloe-rich skincare step, and I don't use any serums at night, just oils, balms, and toner. But in the morning, I really do like an aloe-based serum with no hyaluronic acid. Then I go in with an oil and some sort of sun product on my face. I liked this at night, but I don't typically use a serum at night, so I switched to using it in the morning, taking a break from Ambrosia do Cerrado to test this. I would say compared to that, if you're familiar with that product, this has more of a dry down to it, and I think it's amenable to doing a couple layers of it if you would like, but it doesn't dry down. There's a little bit of tackiness, but not very much at all. The rose is like very, very minimal. It's refreshing on the skin first thing in the morning, and most importantly, and this is why it was so important to test it in the morning, does not pill at all, which is a huge issue. Like, I just tried a sample of the Osmia. It's like a gel serum for sensitive skin. I forget what it's called, but I had a little foil packet sample of it. Similar concept, like a refreshing watery serum that's really nice in the morning, and I got a lot of pilling when I went on to do oil and I think like a sun balm type of product. Zero pilling with this, and I've tried it with kind of all permutations of my morning routine. I feel like I get the same effect as I do with Ambrosia do Serrato, and to be honest, I mean, some of the things that I can anticipate people saying about products like this is like, are they really necessary? Do they do very much? I do feel like they impart some nice hydration. Maybe it's not super long lasting, but for me, having an aloe-based serum as part of a morning skincare routine is really for the sensory experience. That's why I like to use it. It just feels awakening. Yeah, I mean, my skin has evened out. So I was very, very dry earlier in pregnancy, but my skin just seems to like aloe. So yours may or may not. Is this going to completely like change your skin and transform your skin? That's like a whole other discussion. Products don't do that, but I do think this is beautiful, and I'm really happy to have it because I'm basically out of my Ambrosia do Serrato. So I'll be using this actually before I repurchase that, and I'm looking forward to seeing any sort of accumulated benefits that it might impart. With the mushroom, I would expect there to be kind of some calming effect to it, and the calendula as well, which are very calming ingredients. But yeah, I have to say I'm impressed. And again, the packaging to me, this is like white ceramic, feels nice. I mean, this little lid is a little cheap and kind of slides off, but I like it. It feels weighty, it feels substantial, it feels well made. So that was another hit for me. The one product in this box that is a little bit more take it or leave it for me is the body oil. I will be setting this aside until after pregnancy because I'm just not using a lot of essential oils on my body right now, sparingly. I mean, I have tested it a couple times. This reminds me of, I think, like an Honest Beauty baby oil that I had used on my toddler, like, you know, whenever, sometime in the past 2.5 years. The smell is straightforward. It's orange vanilla. Body oils to me are difficult because my favorites are the Infiore Solution Botanics. I'm really, really into infused herbal oils, like I'm using a St. John's wort oil right now. Max and Me oils I love. Trying to think of some other mainstays of mine. I've been using the Osmia Naked Body Oil for basically my whole pregnancy. It hasn't been a product that I've been that excited about during pregnancy. It's just been very basic just to keep my skin kind of healthy and moisturized. This is in recycled plastic, I believe. The organic jojoba comes from Israel. The baobab oil is from Senegal. I'm just not, maybe I'll fall in love with it in my postpartum period, but my test of it was kind of like, it's fine. It didn't wow me and kind of lure me in the way these other two did, but definitely I think will get used by me, and I can imagine people getting the box will use it too. Whether or not it becomes a staple repurchase type of product, I don't know. I just really appreciate receiving a box like this, and I understand that I am not like most beauty consumers probably, and I'm actually quite turned off by the latest and greatest in terms of like extracts and promises to the skin. At this point in my own skincare philosophy, the priority to me is extremely high quality ingredients, executing simple things well, because our skin doesn't need all the crap. Not that it's not fun to test those things, not that there's not a lot of beautiful, interesting, fun, exciting products being done, and some of them maybe do yield really wonderful results for people. It's just not where I'm at, and I was just so excited to see a box that is not that. And I can totally understand why a lot of people would be like, well, this just looks like something I could get at the drugstore, something I could get anywhere. Like, what's interesting about this? I think it has the potential to be a brand that you revisit for staples, and I think that there's a lot to be said for that. And to me, this will also be a box that over time I think will demonstrate its value, I'm guessing, because a lot of the brands or boxes, and I'm not just talking about Beauty Heroes, like any beauty box or any sexy, new, exciting brand that's kind of catering to social media marketing with like brightly colored products and, you know, just like the whole thing can make a splash and then it like totally dies down. And those aren't products that I feel have necessarily like a lot of longevity or lasting power, or they're not brands that become the eco beauty equivalent of like a household name in some ways, right? And granted, I know that it's really personal and different for all of us, but thank you so much to Beauty Heroes for creating a box that this pregnant woman was able to use and feel good about and has really enjoyed using. So please let me know how you feel about this in the comments. I'd love to chat with you. I always pop a link down below in the description bar of my Beauty Heroes reviews for you to go pick up the box if you would like. Beauty Heroes does do one-off boxes for, I believe, around $58. You can do 3, 6, and 12-month subscriptions. They have something exciting coming up for their, I believe, 7-year anniversary in September. I have just been working with Beauty Heroes for so long, and I love being on this journey with them and exploring what eco beauty is to them, how it evolves, how they curate. It's very dynamic, and this box really hit the mark for me. Thank you guys so much for watching and being here, and I will see you very soon. Bye.